Hello, we're about ready to do a little technique called wet into wet. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put on my second coat right here of this little green, my first green, my darkest green. And I'm going to go to the point where I'm about to blend in my next darkest green. And I'm going to come over and put a nice little wet layer of paint right there. Right? So now my actual color, and I'm washing my brush real quick, is wet. And I'm going to take my next color in line, my number 2 green, and I'm going to blend them together, wet into wet. So I'm going to start right above where I want filled in, and right when they start to touch, that's when I kind of brush them in, the lighter into the darker one, so they kind of blend that way. Right? I dip my paintbrush back into this number 2 color again, and I do the same technique. I paint right above that first color, and then right when I'm ready to start blending them in, I just start brushing the lighter color into the darker color. Right? And then you could kind of start doing it quick style if you want for those lines to disappear. But the idea is that it's hard to tell where one color stops and the other one begins, right? So for the sake of time, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do the same thing on the other side. But let's try another color, right? Because that color is still kind of wet. Let's dip into color number 3 right here. This nice kind of like limey deliciousness. Alright, now I'm going right again, right above where I was just at with my number 2 color. And now the paint's starting to wear off on my brush, so I come back in and I start blending them together. And I wait until the paint is almost worn off, because that way they blend easier. If I have a big old paintbrush covered with this new lime color, well, the lime color is going to dominate. Right? Because it's all over my brush, it's super thick. So I try to paint away from where the blend is happening at first, and then when my brush starts getting to that little kind of dry point, that's when I start trying to go fast style and kind of combine the two, wet and the wet, so they kind of make a new color. Right? So that's what you guys are going to want to be trying right now for the background of your farm piece. And peace.